Hi everybody, welcome to an all-new Kastor's Corner toy of the day, and I completely flubbed that, but that's okay. I'm your host, Khalil. You can go to castorscorner.com for a full gallery of this item, which isn't going to be too big because it is what it is. It is right here. And I want to give a huge shout out to our friends at Red 5 Toys up in East Longmeadow who got this beautiful thing in stock early, and I'm just thrilled to have it. Sort of. And so the review by no means has any impact on the store. Red 5, I had spent hundreds of dollars there since they've started up this year, and it is a great vintage / new toy store. So thrilled to go there. It's a great local shop. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. You can check out the Cornercast podcast up on Apple Podcasts. We will have new episodes. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, so I'm not sure if we'll have one ready for tomorrow, but we're planning on very soon to have things back up. So what do we got here? So we have the new Tony Stark Snap Nano Gauntlet, what Iron Man wore in the film, and it is much more flexible than the previous ones. The fingers actually, it's more like a rubber glove, but not like a thin rubber glove, like heavy duty rubber pieces here. Very, very spongy, as you can see. A lot of movement here. The panel here opens up to reveal the battery compartment, just like in all the other ones, and slides right back in pretty easy. It takes 3 AA batteries, and as you can see, there are no lights, and the buttons don't work, right? Unless you actually add them. Now, what's nice about these, and I'm not sure you'll be able to see it there. You kind of can see it. Each one of these has like a little square in the middle, or a shape, and that shape corresponds to the correct stone. So you get the individual stones, and they go plug right in. So, which I think is really fun. So if you're not sure where they go, the stones themselves kind of help you, guide you to putting them in the right spot. And then we get the soul stone. And then when they are all plugged in, so we're going to add the time stone here. So you get some movement. You can press them. You get some different sounds from each one. So each one gives you a different sound. When you take them out, also, you get sounds when you take them out as well. So adding them and taking them out in the right place will give you sounds. Now, I think the design is perfect. It is nice. It is sleek. It is metallic. It's got a nice finish on it. It's got that hot fire candy red that we think of when we think of Iron Man in the first costume. There's no way to short circuit the sounds, but it does match the Iron Man helmet colors. It's a really good prop here. Now, where does this fail? And unfortunately, it does fail. It is not made for adults or adults with bigger hands. I couldn't get my hands into this. This is this is where my hand is stuck right now. And it does not go any further. So what I have had to do actually, and we had a few people try this, so it's not just me. DJ tried it. Girlfriend tried it. Everybody tried it. There are definitely snags, and it does not fit correctly. I feel like the first Nano Gauntlet and the Infinity Gauntlet were way too big. I mean, they were supposed to be on Thanos, so of course they're supposed to be that big. And if you see like Tony holding it, like I get it. It's the Hulk size Nano Gauntlet, and I get it. but they made this one way too small. So what I had to do, which is actually not too bad, is on the inside here, there are screws that line up on either side. And so I have loosened them slightly, so at least I can get the gauntlet on and show you one of the features. Just loosening them up a little bit, and you're going to see some pain in my face in a moment because it does hurt to put it on, to be honest with you. Because there's actually, and I think this is part of it, there is this little flap right here that extends down into the glove. And honestly, if that flap wasn't there, I don't think I'd have a problem putting on the glove. The problem is that allows you flexibility to be able to move the hand back and move it in certain spaces without having a gap there where it's open. So it provides a purpose, but it also adds like, I want to say like 1/4 of an inch worth of plastic that really hinders the ability to kind of get in. So I've got to powers down after a period of time. It doesn't shut off that I found like the other ones do. So I got it past there. Okay, so this definitely feels tighter than the first ones, but again, I am not Thanos. But I am bigger than Tony, so clearly it does not fit that way. It's a nice kind of, you got some movement here. You can definitely move your fingers. And that's the sound that you're supposed to hear. So we have found that the actual sensor, at least from what we can tell, is somewhere in the palm. So when you move this, your middle finger and your thumb to create the snap feature, you can't just grab this and just move it. So there's definitely some additional movement that's required to be in the glove to be able to do it. But you can, and I can't actually snap, but there's a, I had it a second ago. You can't act, like you can motion to snap, but you can't actually snap. But you heard it a second ago. So it's that like whooshing noise. And it's kind of loud. The speaker here really does do a good job of, I mean, that's pretty loud. But as you can see, so it's closer to the snap sound that you'd hear. But I mean, it's not bad. But it's not as mobile or as comfortable as I thought it would be. It's a cool prop. I'm happy to have it. Price wasn't too bad considering the other props. It was about $100, like 120, I think it was. And so it's a nice addition to the props that they've had. I just wish they had made it a little bit wider, because even just to move my arm around in it, just to kind of rotate my wrist, I have to kind of slide it. And multiple people have tried it, and it is tight even for people with smaller hands. So it's a nice addition. I'm glad we have it. It was a nice try. But as a full prop, I think it's going to be great for our friends at Little Geeks. I think our friend Little Ninja and Little Zombie are going to, have fun with this whenever they get it. But for our adult collectors, it is definitely a display piece rather than a wear piece. And it's pretty hot because it's rubber coating on the gloves here. And I worry two things about the breakdown of the rubber on these gloves. And it gets really hot. Like, I'm really sweating inside of here. So I'm just worried that, like, my hand's going to swell inside. And you can see, like, my hand's all red from, like, scraping up to get it inside. So it definitely is going to be a prop piece that I keep behind me. And I don't think it would take a lot more of me taking it apart to kind of put it on. I think that's limiting the life of this thing to have to keep doing that. But once you tighten it up, I mean, it looks great. It definitely has the aesthetic that you want it to have. It just doesn't have the functionality. And I hit a stone. And so that's that. I think that's the biggest disappointment. I think the amazing thing was, I think one of the first prop replicas that I bought was the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. And I loved it. It wasn't that functional. It kind of hurt a little bit because of how how big it was, but I think it was just a lot of fun to kind of have on your shelf. And I think that they've kind of done that with the Iron Man helmets, the Cap shield, and all those things. So you can have these things in your house. But unfortunately, this one's just going to be a display for sure. So these are going to be showing up soon, if not already, at your favorite retailer. We lucked out, and our friend up at Red 5 Toys, which is an amazing vintage shop that I have spent. They do have modern stuff too. They do have a lot of modern toys, but I have been doing a lot of vintage shopping there. I picked up a G.I. Joe Cobra Terradrome last week, and now this week spent another $100 and got the Nano Gauntlet. So thank you to our friends at Red 5 Toys. We really appreciate it. It is definitely a display piece for any Marvel fan. It is way cheaper and way more functional than a Hot Toys or Sideshow version. So it is great for display, and I think it looks really nice as a display. So you're going to see it behind me because it is going to sit on the shelf back there for sure. So check out a gallery. We'll do turnarounds and pictures of all the stones and everything. And maybe some comparisons to the other gauntlets. I got to dig those out. Yeah, so there you go. New Nano Gauntlet from Hasbro, your new role play, and you can snap away all your cares if you really get your hand in there. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Go to castorscorner.com. Follow us. We are at Castor's Corner. Check out the Cornercast podcast. Catch up on old episodes before the new ones start again. And as we say every night, subscribe to the channel, of course. The more you subscribe, the more cool things we get to do. But then, of course, we miss you, Jaxie, and we wish you your hair. And we'll see you tomorrow night for another Toy of the Day here on castorscorner.com. Have a good night, everybody.